Yes, indeed. Welcome into another episode of Rip and Riff here on the Rip and Riff YouTube channel. It is Thursday. For some of us, this is kind of the beginning of the weekend, but not really. But let's face it, a lot of hockey. We got college basketball this weekend. It's starting to feel like the weekend already to me.
Oh, it certainly is starting to feel like the weekend. The weather's getting nicer outside. I'm sending some very shitpost-esque tweets in promotion of the show today, which is something we always look forward to when we do the show live. So I can't wait for Adam to read that one and react to it. But yeah, I'm excited to rip some cards today and just general tomfoolery.
Well, I mean, I don't want any more tariffs. I mean, but I want at least the cards are made in the country. I think we're okay there. I hope so.
Maybe. I mean, most of these are probably made in the country.
Because otherwise, I mean, if the hobby wasn't expensive enough, but at least we do a production here. But yeah, Jared will impose tariffs on you if you don't watch. So there you go. Plenty to get to today. We're going to get into a little lunch. I don't want to call it an incident I had, but a situation I had that I want Jared to weigh in on. And but yeah, before
I'm an expert on anything, it's lunch, so we can certainly get to that.
Absolutely. We're going to debut a new thing called Rip and Review. I'll explain that later. And of course, college basketball cards. We'll finish up that hobby box, the Topps Bowman that I opened up last week. Let's just do the pack ripping lineup right now as we get it up on the screen there, since I'm mentioning it anyway. So we're bringing the rest of those packs back. I got 4 packs left of that hobby box there. And then Jared's got a couple of football packs today.
Yeah, a couple of nice cheap Toy Whiz pickups. So we got Topps 2013 mini football cards. I'm curious to see what mini cards are. I guess it's probably exactly what it sounds like, just smaller versions of regular trading cards. But the fact that they're mini sort of intrigued me. And then we have a 2023 American Metallix Football Edition. I honestly had no idea what was in here until I literally just saw the graphic you put together. And I guess this is like the Leaf version of, we'll make some college cards for the upcoming kids in that year's draft class. Cause these kids got to get their NIL money somehow. So I guess I'm happy to, support the NIL fund for, some of these notable players. So we shall see what we get out of this pack. Oh, and it says on the pack, autograph cards approximately 1 per 20 packs. So I guess there's a 5% chance that we pull an auto today.
We shall see. I mean, I'm looking for, a little Travis Kelce mini rookie. That'd be a cool one to grab there. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Travis Kelce is going to go down as, if not the greatest tight end of all time, certainly one of them. So anytime you get legends like that, you got to feel good about it.
Maybe we'll do a summertime tight end power ranking. Maybe we'll get the tight end whisperer Coop involved in that. We'll see. Maybe that's an interesting discussion. Best tight end of all time, because you can make an argument for a couple of different guys, but we're not going to do that right now.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to get Coop's take on where Bubba Franks ranks on that list.
Bubba Franks, underrated name there. Now, the other thing we do before we get down to brass tacks here, we do have to update the ovometer, and he's down to 3 to go to break the record there. And Gretzky, do not sweat in the console. The moisture is not good for the dashboard electronics. So, I mean, that sweat's got to be coming here. And he's got, the Blackhawks coming up, the Islanders coming up, a rematch with Canes, which got a little out of hand last night. So there's a chance he could do it in the next 2 games with the 2 teams he's playing. But I think getting it done before the end of the year, I don't want to say is a lock, but it's looking like he's going to get it before the playoffs.
I guess my dream scenario, we kind of touched on this a little bit last week, is my dream scenario right now that Ovechkin gets the record, then the Capitals win the Stanley Cup, and then he goes off into the sunset with a year left on his contract? Because that would be the dream for me.
I think a lot of fans,
another metropolitan team.
Yeah, that's the ideal scenario for the rest of the metropolitan rooting teams. Because other than Carolina, none of them really have a chance at making a cup run this year. That's gonna be a hell of a second round series. Definitely a little tone setting last night, and I expect more of that when they meet again here in less than a week. But Ovi's getting close, and it's gonna be great to see that happen there. And we'll see what they do with Wayne Gretzky, if there's any plans for him. Like, if you recall, they had like the Roger Maris family travel around with McGuire when he was getting close to his record, so they could be in the building. I'm curious if Gretzky's gonna do something like that. I mean, he's a part of NHL on TNT and NHL media anyway, so I'm sure it's not that tough to put together.
Well, they'd have to pull him off the golf course to do it, but I'm sure he could find the time to do it. If nothing else, Wayne certainly has. I don't know if I want to say he's a classy guy because I don't actually know him in real life, but like he certainly has that classy persona to him. So I could, he at the bare minimum, he'll record a nice congratulations video. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure that might be in the can already if they're smart, and then you just hopefully doesn't say anything specific like, "Oh, sorry, Wayne, you got to re-record that because that didn't happen that way." But anyway, got neither here nor there. Now we got packs to rip, but I want to get to a lunchtime scenario I had with you yesterday that I texted you while I was there. So let me set the scene. This is a place that I used to when I worked. I worked in the veterinary field for about 5 years, and one of the hospitals I worked at, there was this great little breakfast lunch spot. Whenever I'd get my lunch, I would always get this crispy chicken salad. That was fantastic. It was big. They gave you a big piece of Texas toast with it. Really good. Some honey mustard dressing on it. Hadn't gone in a while. The last time I tried to go because I was craving that salad, there was actually like a power outage in the area, so they were closed. I'm like, all right, whatever. Yesterday, finally get a chance to go out and eat lunch, something I don't do enough considering I work from home. Sit down. I see a new menu, and I'm like, uh-oh. And I look at the salad section, and it's gone. Like, all right, that sucks. Like, I was really looking, when you're really looking forward to something, you go somewhere for something specific, and then they say like, oh, it's off the menu, or we're out of that particular item for the night. So already like a little bit of a letdown, but it is a salad. So I was going to see if maybe like, if you still got crispy chicken, you can make it this, whatever. The waitress comes over to the table, and when she goes to get my order, I'm like, listen, I haven't been here since you've changed your menu. I noticed that you reduced the salads. You got rid of the crispy chicken salad. She's like, yeah. Nobody was really getting. I'm like, oh, that's a shame. I used to come in here all the time and get it because I loved it. That's not there anymore. And she goes, and she looks me bold in the face and goes, well, maybe if you had come and ordered it more, it'd still be on the menu.
Wow. Holy shit.
Thank you. That's the reaction I was looking for. Now, again, I could understand, like I say, I used to get it when I come in here a lot. You don't remember my face because I wasn't in there that often, but I was in, and a lot of the times it would be like, come pick it up and go back to, eat it at work because it was close enough that I could do that. And I'm also not there regular enough that like you can break my balls in that fashion and be like, oh, good one, and there was nothing about her tone or the look on her face that was like being facetious about it. And like I had a legit like 3 seconds where I'm like, am I walking out of here right now? Like, and then I let it go. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, I had a feeling it was going to be like, once I realized it wasn't on the menu, I had a plan B ready to go. The chicken avocado sandwich with fries, very good. But like, was I wrong to like think about leaving there for a second?
No, I mean, like she said the quiet part out loud. Like, what? I mean, the dream when you're a waiter and as someone who worked in that field for many years is being able to like talk back to the customers in that sort of manner. And she very much said the quiet part out loud. I was like, well, maybe if you bothered to show up, it would still be on the menu. So I respect that she did it, but like, oh boy, that takes some brass ones there, especially in an industry where you're sort of relying on tips to make a living. And I'm not trying to disparage you, but like, the $5 you leave on a $25 check's not going to really make or break her rent, so it kind of is what it is.
No, but it wasn't like I was complaining. I was just like in an, oh shucks, oh man, like that was a good salad kind of way. I wasn't like complaining,
right? Yeah, but see, here's what would have annoyed me if I was waiting on you and
besides my face.
If we were in this situation, because I feel like if she hadn't said that, you probably would have been like, hey, any chance you could just, give me like this salad, but put like a piece of fried chicken on it and like add this and like, try to like recreate it basically.
I thought about it, but I'm like, no, if it's not on the menu, it's not on the menu. Like I've
right.
been there too.
And that was one of my pet peeves as servers. Like they took it off the menu, buddy. Like, like I really don't want to have to sit here and try to like Frankenstein this shit together for, for you. So.
And the other thing is like, it was lunchtime rush. It was clearly busy in there. Tables were mostly full inside and outside. So that's definitely not the time to ask for like like if you walk in and there's 2 other people eating, they're like, all right, maybe they'll consider it because it's not, you can't do that during lunch either.
No, not during peak hours. You want to come in at like 3:30 in the afternoon when there's nobody in there. Yeah, sure. I guess you could do that. But
yeah. I was just, I was almost about, but I'm like, nah, I'm hungry and I don't want to go anywhere else. And I know the food is good here. And I also know the rule of thumb is you don't talk back or in a disrespectful way to the people who either A, handle your food, or B, make your food. Because
yeah, that's that. I mean, a lot of people. I was never one that was going to mess with somebody's food because I always just felt like I was going to get caught if I ever tried something like that, so I just never did. But yeah, you certainly don't do that. And I look, I could tell you all sorts of horror stories from working in a restaurant, but I'm that's a new one. I'm a little surprised that the waitress actually took that kind of tone, but I mean, I guess she felt comfortable doing it, or it might just be how she is. She might just be really like passive aggressive. So, kind of is what it is.
yeah, I was a little taken aback. I was like, whoa, okay, like we're gonna have that tone today. Cool. Like, okay. But again, I won't go back at somebody like that because I understand in the food service industry.
Now,
I won't even send stuff back unless it's blatantly wrong. Like this is not what I ordered. Other than that, oh, the potatoes are a little. No, I don't care. It's fine.
right. Like I will say, like the food either better be good or the menu better be good, where you can find a suitable alternative. Because I would have probably actually considered walking, like especially if you're craving a specific item. Like 100% feeling that. Like I went to Cheesecake Factory the other day, and like I was, and why? Because I was craving like Tex-Mex egg rolls for whatever reason, just because like the avocado sauce that comes with it, it's really good. And like I really just wanted like those fried egg rolls. Well, I just wanted an order of them, and of course they were out of it that night. So it's like, God damn, of course they're out of it. The one night I go.
I believe that would be the textbook definition of a hankering. Something when you really want that one specific thing, and you got it on your mind, and then nope, they don't got it. Like, Anyway, I thought I feel like you appreciate those life situations where we can, pick them apart, and I appreciate the feedback there. Will I go back? Probably at some point, but now that they don't have that salad, probably won't be going back nearly as much because it was all about that for me. That was like, I'm not a big salad guy, but that one really hit the spot. It was perfect.
You can always try to recreate it at home, I suppose. Like if
Right.
you know like what all the ingredients are for the most part. It's a salad. It's not I mean, the biggest pain in the ass with it is doing the fried chicken.
Yeah, which honestly, you just get some frozen tenders, throw them in the air fryer for 10 minutes, and you're good.
Yeah, you could do that, or you could just go like Popeyes and get like a 3-piece chicken tender and just throw that on there.
So the Popeyes is not that close. It's close to my house, but not close enough for that. It's because I got to go to like a busy like area and stuff like that. So Popeyes does not get eaten often, which I haven't had in a while, and I'm probably gonna have to get it now soon. So thank you for the reminder. I'm gonna get to something called Rip and Review. So let's do a little. So basically, I try to not rip packs too much because I don't want to waste a good pack. Like, oh, that would have been good for Rip and Riff, and I just wasted it opening up a pack of cards in my room in my office at like 10 o'clock at night. But once in a while, like I've had a couple of long weeks of work, you reward yourself. And I try to take one of the packs that's less likely to have something in it. And there was no major hits here, but there were some cool cards. It was a pack of Topps, 2003 Topps Series 2 baseball. Let's get the Rip Cam up on the screen there. And right when I opened the pack, I'm like, oh, this would have been a good one. Drew Henson, Brandon Clausen, rookie prospects there.
I mean, Drew Henson.
That's right off the bat to start.
Yeah, I mean, look, that yeah, it's an interesting one there. I mean, Drew Henson was what was his name? I'm trying to remember the guy's name now. I don't want to say Chris Winkie. It was somebody else who like did the multi-sport thing when it was also a quarterback.
Charlie Ward?
Well, I mean, Charlie Ward played basketball, and he wound up being a professional NBA player. He won the Heisman as well, which is certainly an interesting footnote in history. No,
the thing I remember about Drew Henson is that they kept trying to play him over Tom Brady at Michigan. And I mean, clearly Brady went on to have a fine career, but like they kept trying to like force Henson in there over Brady is what I remember of Drew Henson at Michigan.
Right. And then like, he played a little bit for the Yankees, didn't really work out there. And then he eventually made his way to the NFL. He was on the Cowboys for a couple of years as well as their backup quarterback. And by the way, the Cowboys make an interesting trade today with Joe Milton from the Patriots. I'm not sure why the Patriots are giving up Joe Milton for a 5th round pick. It's like, I know you got your franchise quarterback there in Drake May, but like, you can't have enough talent at the quarterback position.
I'd also think the 5th round pick would be more valuable to you then I would think Joe Milton would be more valuable to you in case Drake May goes down as like somebody that can still, he's shown some signs of being a decent quarterback than that 5th round pick is. But, I'm not going to question Mike Vrabel. But yeah, it's, if you're the Cowboys, I get it because you want to have somebody that's a similar playing style to Dak Prescott. If he goes down, which he does get hurt sometimes. So see how that goes. A little Kareem Garcia there. How about Raul Mondesi? What a rocket arm out in right field.
Yeah, Raul Mondesi, a really good player in his day. I think he was one of that string of Dodgers players that all won Rookie of the Year like 5 years in a row. So there's that as well.
Got another outfielder that was a legend in his day, Kenny Lofton, picture with the Giants there. It's a good looking set of cards too.
Yeah, I like the how these are presented with the nice little I was gonna say the diamond below. I don't know what you really call that, the dimensions of the field with the headshot of the player, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's like this is I think like the last era before the end of the era before cards start getting crazy with all the designs and all the parallels and all that. We got Jason Michaels there, nothing special, but that's a hell of a Phillies uniform there, the old baby blue. Let's see, we got Barry Larkin, one of the better shortstops of his era.
Yeah, Barry Larkin, legendary Cincinnati Red there, and Jason Michaels. He's no Brett Michaels, so there you go. No Shawn Michaels either.
Yeah, he's definitely not in the top 3 of the Michaels power rankings there. What else we got here? We got Carlos Lee with the White Sox. Shout out Bill Zimmerman. How about Scott Rowland, another good third baseman in his day from that era?
Hall of Famer Scott Rowland. So there you go. Yeah, this is a good pack so far.
See this, and this is why I was like, oh, of course, I not that I'm rooting for a garbage pack, but this would have been good on the show to open live. We got Marty Cordova there, and then we wrap with 3 strong ones. We got Johan Santana with the Twins.
Is that a Johan rookie?
It might be, actually. I mean, it doesn't say it on there. He played 27 games with the Twins in 02, so this is a second-year card.
I was going to say, yeah, that's a bummer. But yeah, young Johan Santana, which is pretty cool. And it's funny, he looks the exact same there as he did when he was on the Mets like 10 years later. But there you go. And Santana is one of those guys. He got 5% off the ballot. Certainly deserve more Hall of Fame consideration. Like him and like Carlos Delgado are like the 5% of guys off the ballot. Jorge Posada as well, where those guys just like immediately off the Hall of Fame ballot. It's like, well, you maybe should have actually looked deeper into their cases.
Johan, I mean, listen, the Twins were never threats to go deep in the playoffs, but I mean, Johan Santana, when he was on the Twins and he was on the Mets, he was rock solid. Every 5 days he went out there and gave you a strong chance to win every time, and he did that for like the better part of a decade.
And he was a multiple-time Cy Young winner. Like I know it's not automatic, but like that still counts for something.
I don't disagree, and yeah, sometimes it's like the Baseball Hall of Fame is like the worst one of the. I mean, basketball lets everybody in, hockey and football, all right, but baseball is just it makes no sense half the time. It's a total crapshoot, especially when you don't have guys like Barry Bonds in there. We've got a 2002 AL Gold Glove set there, award winner Benji Molina, one of the Molina catching trio there.
Yeah, shout out to the Molina brothers,
Jose and Yadier. I'd like to see them do like a buddy comedy or something like that, which would be cool. And then we close out with a John Smoltz record breakers there, 55 saves in 2002 when he transitioned to being a closer from being a Hall of Fame starter.
One of the more interesting careers in MLB history. Hall of Fame starter. Then he, obviously he gets hurt. Then he becomes the best closer in baseball, and he does that for a few years. And then, and then he immediately goes back to the rotation. He's an all-star starting pitcher again. Like, shout out to John Smoltz for a hell of a career.
I mean, I don't think if you weren't around for the early 90s Braves where you had Smoltz and Glavine and Steve Avery and Greg Maddux, I mean, like, oh, now. Like, that just wasn't fair. Now, that's a little baseball review. It's a little rip and review. We'll get to that. We'll do that periodically here. Let's get to the college basketball cards. Since I got 4 of these. Let's do the foot, and then we'll get to the good football stuff because I'm excited about your American Metallix because those just look sharp. Packs we did last week were not great. Hopefully we get maybe a cool autograph or something out of the rest of this box. Let's see. We got AJ Griffin. And again, we don't love the fact that like the school names are scrubbed off of these because they don't have the rights for that. But it is what it is. It was a $25 hobby box. Can't go wrong. We got Christian Lander. We got Eli Brooks. We got Ochai Agbaji. And then we have another Arthur Kaluma, but this is a pink parallel. So not off to a good start.
I think it's bad that I work in sports media and I don't know who any of these players are.
Any Final Four predictions, thoughts? I mean, it's two good matchups. Duke Houston will be interesting. Michigan, Auburn. We'll see what happens there. I'm not too crazy into it at this point.
No, but I have a bone to pick with you, by the way.
Oh, really?
In regards to this, because last week you gave me my flowers for doing well in the VSiN Bracket Challenge.
Yeah,
and that was the kiss of death right there because I had
about
as bad a Sweet 16 Elite 8 as you possibly could have. I think I went like 1-5-1 or something, and basically took myself out of consideration for winning it. So,
all right, I'll never praise you again.
Never do. Just keep calling me a piece of shit. Let's go.
All right, asshole. All right, so we got Christian Braun there, and then back to back Mikey Williams. We've got, I guess, like the little refractor and a regular one there. Nobody special. And then Victor Murasan, who I would assume is the son of George Murasan. Father George played for US. So, we have a potential, for a Poe of the Day. We got George Murasan's son. I wonder if he's going to do a movie with Billy Crystal's son.
He could do a movie with Billy Crystal, I suppose. Like, Billy Crystal's still making movies. Is he?
I see that movie, Billy, like a sequel to My Giant.
Actually, is Billy Crystal still making movies?
Come on, Billy.
He's basically at the point of his career where he's like, retired. He just directs, whatever. I mean, he's getting older now, so all Billy Crystal does now is to do a mediocre job hosting the Oscars whenever they ask him to do it.
I think he would come out of like acting retirement for a classic like a My Giant sequel. I mean, how could you not? RJ Cole. We got Blake Wesley. We need to get to these football cards real soon. Geo Baker.
Oh, yeah.
Julian Strother. And Devin Askew there. He's got some sweet hair. God. There's a reason why this box was sitting lonely on the shelf.
I mean, at least the parallels look good. I mean, there's that.
All right, last pack here. We got, let's see, Keon Ellis. I've got enough of this Mikey Williams guy. How many Mikey Williams cards do I need? All right, fine. We'll close strong here. Julian Champagne. Champagne, don't know how you say it. But we do got a Chet Holmgren card here. So that's actually, makes the box worth it. I mean, it's not worth $25, but please be closed with a recognizable name and a good player.
Yeah, we certainly
Your face
did
says it
there.
all.
I mean, I'm just glad that you were able to personally fund Mikey Williams's for the entire stint he was at whatever college he went to. Insert that name here.
I mean, he might. I don't know how many cards of him were produced, but I probably got like 80% of them right here in this box. All right, Jared, time for you to save us now. Where are we going next? We going mini football or American Metallix?
Let's go to mini cards.
Yeah, that's what I was looking forward to.
Yeah, I actually want to see what these look like in relation to the regular cards, and we'll certainly pull one of those out. Yeah, so they're definitely a little bit smaller than the regular cards, and just to give you an idea of comparing the size. So the first one we pull out is Mike Williams, the receiver with the Bucks, who I believe, unfortunately, the late great Mike Williams. I don't think he's with us anymore, but that's the size difference with the mini cards versus what a traditional trading card looks like. Mike Williams there on the right, and the Albert Bell card there on the left.
See, what annoys me about that is like it's almost close to the size. Like if you're gonna do a mini card, do like a mini card. You know what I mean? Like Opeachy did that. Not too. Did that with a few recent years. Like if you're gonna do it, do it. That's like barely smaller.
Yep, but we got some heavy hitters in this pack already, so I feel pretty good about it. We got Robert Mathis, one of the great pass rushers of his day.
Absolutely.
Nice pose there of him celebrating a sack, so shout out to him. We got a Xavier Rhodes rookie card.
Him and Dwight Freeney.
Yeah, him and Dwight Freeney.
Good safety.
Part of the great pass rush there with the Colts. Danny Amendola, who went on to have a nice long career. Here he's pictured with the Patriots, where he had some of his best years. He also had some really good years in St. Louis. Pierre Garcon with the
Good receiver.
here with the Washington Redskins. He also a former Colt. That's where he started his career. So I interrupted you. So what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Pierre Garcon. I mean, I'd like to see him. He should have played on the Saints at some point. That's a perfect pairing right there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it never happened, but it is what it is. We got your guy from the Jets, former first-round pick Muhammad Wilkerson.
He was a good player. I liked Wilkerson.
Another rookie card here, Star Lotulelei with the Carolina Panthers.
Great name.
Darrell Washington, linebacker with the Arizona Cardinals. Solid player here.
I was always more of a Carlos Dansby guy.
Yeah, another pretty good linebacker in his day. And here's another good linebacker in his day, Clay Matthews with the Green Bay Packers.
Part of the Matthews family there, and they're a long lineage of football.
And last but not least, 2012 All-Pro, and I believe this is another unfortunate, the late, great Jacoby Jones.
Yes, one of the better return men of his era. But yeah, good pack there. Good start with the Topps mini football.
Yeah, no bangers, as the kids would say, but certainly a solid pack. Like a lot of, it's all players you would recognize, especially if you watched football 10 years ago. It's all right, I know all these players. I've heard of them.
Yeah, those were all like fantasy players too. Like some of those guys that had their fantasy value during their day. Not the defensive players, but.
So we'll get to the Metallix pack here, and I'm very curious to see what we have here. And I actually have no idea what we got in this one, but
let's see.
All right, so this is interesting because I thought this would be an actual pack of cards. It's one card.
Oh, okay.
But with that said, this is a one-of-one, I guess, quote-unquote rookie card here of pretty good player who we've already mentioned on the show today. UNC quarterback Drake May.
Oh, all right. All right. Yes. So that is we like that pull a whole lot there.
Yeah, so that's
a keeper to hold on to.
Yeah, this case kind of sucks, but I mean the card is there in pretty good shape. I'll wind up putting this in a nice penny sleeve or something, but let's get a closer look at this. So
was that a Toy Wiz purchase?
Yeah, this was. So you can see right there on the top, 1/1, Drake May, and then on the back, nothing special. It just has all his information there. So Drake May, quarterback, his measurables, and all that sort of stuff. Massachusetts. I wasn't expecting it to be just one card. I thought this would be multiple cards, but overall, I'm very pleased of getting a 1/1 Drake May card. That's pretty cool.
I agree. I mean, that's way better than getting we'll say 6 or 8 of B tier base cards or parallels or inserts. That was A, you hold on to that. B, maybe you shout out some of your Patriot buddies there and be like, you're interested if you collect Drake May? No, that's
yeah, I mean, I suppose we could hit Coop there for maybe a little trade ski or our boy in Pemba. I
was gonna say, well, those are the 2 targets right there.
Yeah, we could certainly. I didn't have anything else planned after that, so I mean, look, I got a whole freaking bin here full of cards, so I could easily just grab another pack, and I already had one on the desk, Sports Illustrated World Series Fever cards from 1990, whatever it was, whatever year this was.
Yeah, let's do it.
We could certainly rip another pack. I'll keep going. I'll just keep ripping packs until we run out of time here, because I got
bonus packs. I love it.
All right, so we are going.
I have Total Hockey Now come up later today.
Yeah, well, obviously we'll be done way before then.
Oh.
But
we'll have to do a ripping marathon one day. We'll do a ripathon.
We've done some of these Sports Illustrated cards before in the past. So let's see. Kevin Appier looks like he's winding up to do a nice long toss there during warm-ups or something, because he's getting ready to heave that ball into the second deck.
Yeah, that's either long toss or throwing a fan a souvenir that's way up there.
Looks like we got a mini poster here, so I'm gonna unfurl this real quick.
I feel like we got one of those last time too.
I did, but it wasn't a Juan Gonzalez poster. So there you go.
That's a cool one. I mean, total steroid guy, but I mean, total good hitter in his era.
Yeah. Former MVP. So we got that. Another former MVP. Frank Thomas here with the Chicago White Sox.
The big hurt. There he is. Looks like he's getting ready to launch one over the outfield there.
Yep. One of our all-time favorites, the legend himself, the captain, DJ. Got him right there.
You know, I don't want to ruin the surprise, but the starting lineup studio audience today may have a Derek Jeter.
Very nice. And this pack came out in '97, so it's not a rookie. And I like the description on the back of it as well. The Yankees' seemingly annual search for a shortstop should be on hold for the next decade or so. Yeah, I would say that was an accurate assessment.
That's a good call by whoever wrote that little blurb there. You got some insight.
Yep. And then we got a few that kind of look like some old time, like Sports Illustrated covers here. Not this one so much, Joe Rowe with the Giants, but it's an interesting card there.
Yeah, it's kind of got that like a sepia kind of vibe to it. That's cool.
We got one that looks like they're this probably was the cover back in 1988, their MLB preview, but we got one here of Mark McGwire and Will Clark.
Yeah, back when there was two teams in the bag. Now there's only one, and one of them, the other one went to Sacramento. We can't call them Sacramento A's. We have to call them the Athletics. And by the way, that start to just their era in Sacramento could not have got, like, I tweeted out that, like, this feels like the part of the Major League movie where the team is just absolutely atrocious. First of all, the building was more blue than it was green and yellow because you opened up against the Cubs for your first game there. No, that's when you have like I don't know, a Milwaukee Brewers, somebody that doesn't have a chance of outdrawing you in your first series. And then look at what the attendance was the second night. There was nobody there because they're in a minor league stadium. It's embarrassing. And it didn't need to go down this way.
Yeah, as Doggy would say, it's a little rough right there. That turned out the way it did.
I mean, I'm still going to try and go and check it out because, I mean, how many times you get to go watch Major League Baseball in a stadium that holds 14,000 with picnic room? But yeah.
All right, I got one more card, and then I'm gonna do one more pack here. I gotta figure out what we have, but Ricardo Rincon with the Pirates. So there you go. Him. Big smile on his face while he's in his jacket. This one looks like they literally like put the card together last minute. And they asked him, "Hey, can you just run out on the field real quick and take a photo for the card?"
It looks like he's in a suit there, from what I can tell.
No, he's in his getup, but like he's wearing like the warm up jacket and whatnot. Like,
okay, that's what's throwing me off because it almost looks like he's wearing like a jacket with like a shirt and tie from like what I'm seeing on my side.
But it looks like they literally asked him to take this photo. Like they already shut the lights off in the stadium. It's probably after the game, and someone from Sports Illustrated probably like fell asleep in the job. It's like, oh shit, I need a photo of Ricardo Rincon for a card.
Or they open up their email and somebody's like, "Hey, did you get that Ricardo Rincon photo?" Oh shit, Ricardo, get back here, get back here. I need just like 2 seconds.
Exactly. So yeah. So I'm gonna open up one more pack. We'll do an impromptu NBA pack.
All right.
I'm looking for solo packs here, and like the only one I have here is NBA. So this is a rare 4-pack show for me, but this one's only got 4 cards, so we'll go through this one pretty quickly.
All right.
No. All right, come on. All right, this pack's gonna be a pain in the ass.
Of course it is. You've inspired me to do a random pack too.
Sure, screw it. We got nothing but time.
And I know just what I know just what the doctor ordered. So
go for it. Mike Riker says, "What's up, boys?" So shout out to Mike in the chat for checking us out.
Mr. Riker, I miss sharing a desk with you. That is for sure.
Mike, you can respond to this comment whenever you get a second. Is Pierre Garçon the most Saints player that never actually played for the Saints?
Great question for a big Saints fan from Louisiana there. Great question.
I figured I'd ask it. Why not? All right, we finally got this pack open. So,
producer Jared.
Poorly produced there on my part. Pistons, Marvin Bagley. We always like the look of these Prism cards, but it's always hit or miss whether or not you actually get any halfway decent players in them. An instant impact rookie card, Jarase Walker with the Indiana Pacers.
It's a cool looking card.
Yep. Let's see. We have another rookie card here, Osar Thompson with the Detroit Pistons, who are having a nice resurgent year there. And last but not least, Marcus Smart with the Memphis Grizzlies, who recently pulled a play out of the old Lou Lamoriello Devils playbook and fired their coach, even though they're like 5 games away from the playoffs and like their playoff spot is well secure. You may remember the Devils did that back in the day with, I think it was Robbie Fatorik, and they wound up going to a Larry Robinson, and everything worked out for the Devils that year.
I remember they went to Robinson. I don't remember who they fired.
I think it was Robbie Fatorik, if I remember right.
So, yeah, I mean, the Grizzlies getting rid of, I want to say,
Taylor Jenkins.
I was going to say Taylor Hawkins, but I know that's not the right answer.
No, unfortunately, the big man upstairs took Taylor Hawkins.
You know that was like just over 3 years ago. It's crazy.
Has that been 3 years ago? Oh, Jesus Christ! I mean, I guess you're right. That sounds about right.
Yeah, because it was just about after the pandemic. They were down in South America, and yeah, that was that. So Jared's random packs have inspired me to go with, and I have to make up for that Topps U, Bowman U. So we're gonna go with 2002 Topps Gold label, 4 cards in every pack. All right.
All right, go for it. While you have that, Mike responds in the chat. Yeah, Pierre Garçon should have been a Saint. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. They should have, even though he didn't play with them, they should have signed him to like a 10-day contract just because of the name. Yeah.
Oh, and like he would have been awesome with like Marquez Colston and Drew Brees throwing the ball there. Like he would have been great. And him and Pierre Thomas could have gone for lunch every day, and we could have done the Mike Francesa joke. Hey, do Pierre Thomas and Pierre Garçon grab lunch when they're in town together? We could have done that.
Could have done that, but unfortunately, we never got the opportunity to, and it's very sad.
Sean Payton, piece of shit. Nah, I'm kidding. I like Sean Payton.
Me too. He's a good coach. All right, so 4 cards in this pack. They all look pretty sharp. This is the Topps Gold label. We'll start with Mr. Jeff Cirillo there at the Seattle Mariners. Not a great offensive start to the season for the Seattle Mariners. Great pitching, though.
Yeah, great pitching. And when I think Jeff Cirillo, I actually think Brewers more than I think Seattle Mariners. But solid player in his day.
These are really sharp cards. We got next. We got Mr. Sean Green. There.
Sean Green's come up a few times in the last few shows, so it's always cool to see him.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of. I really like these cards. I may have to try and find more packs of them. Now we're going to close with 2 heavy hitters from the National League in the '90s. Let's start with Mr. Chipper Jones.
I've heard of him. He had a pretty good career.
Pretty good career.
Pretty badass that he named his kid Shea in honor of trolling the Mets.
He was probably the saddest to see Shea Stadium go for City Field, because I mean that's all the guy he like at Shea Stadium. He would just light it up. And a guy who would have probably got more credit if it wasn't for a guy named Mariano Rivera. There's Trevor Hoffman there. AC/DC's Hell's Bells.
Yeah, we've talked about that before with Hell's Bells and the entrance, the entrance song for coming out there, and it's just a badass entrance. It's unfortunately it's becoming a lost art a little bit with the closers. Like we have what's his face, Edwin Diaz with the trumpet, the Timmy Trumpets thing, but for the most part, like a lot of the closers don't really have iconic like entrance themes, and like if baseball should be doing anything, they should be more like pro wrestling, where like the entrance is like a huge thing.
And it's the one sport where you do have that entrance moment. Like basketball, it's you go and sit and wait for the scorer's table to let you go in. Like there, you can't really do anything there. Hockey's constant line changes. Football's constant change of personnel. But yeah, when a reliever's coming in, you got the guy walking up to the plate. If you're a batter, every reliever should have an entrance theme that similar to like the batters have when they walk up, and they probably do. But they should like pick a song and stick with it. Make it part of like your identity.
I would even go a step further. It should be over the top, like Eastbound and Down, and what's his face? Comes out. He's got the pyro going, the Real American theme, and like he's wearing the American flag on his back. Like, it should be over the top. It should be everything should have a little more pro wrestling in their sport.
I mean, let's face it. Major League is a fantastic movie, but it's probably made 2% better because of the pairing of the Wild Thing song with Rick Wild Thing Vaughn, and like that when he comes in at the end, and like Dorn comes over and is like, strike this. out. Like, come on, like that's a top scene in sports movies right there. We might have to do that one day. Is talk about top scenes in sports movies.
I think my project moving forward is I'm going to come up with what each closer's like entrance song should be.
Okay, I like it. It could be another project with the Sal Fasano All Stars to keep you busy, so you have a couple of things there going on currently. All right, so I've got some new candidates here for hit or rip poll of the day here. Let's get that there. Let's get Chipper Jones there, and I'm gonna put that Chet Holmgren in there because that could potentially be something someday. So those are gonna be my three for poll of the day right there. What do you got, Jared?
I mean, for me, I think it's no contest. I think you got to go the Drake May 101 card.
Yeah, I mean you win. I had some nice base cards there. But the Chet Holmgren saved that hobby box. The gold label pack was a nice, but yeah, Drake May 1 of 1, the American Metallix, that did not disappoint there. So there we go. That was good stuff. See, I was hoping for another Harry Collin. Oh. Harry Doyle, maybe? I don't know. Let's see. Maybe it was a player from the Saints. I don't remember. But nonetheless, love that Riker's here hanging out with us, and you could do the same too. Hit us up all over on social media at Pucking Thoughts, at Mr. Jared Moore. Shoot us an email, RipNRiff@gmail.com. I do check it periodically. Would love to hear from people. But it's time to get to the starting lineup figure 5. And it's going to be baseball today because we were doing basketball. We were doing football. We had all these impromptu packs here. But, we are right in the meat of baseball season. I wanted to do a baseball starting lineup figure 5. So, Jared, you know the drill. You get 5 guesses here. To see if we could figure, or 5 questions and then a guess to figure out we can get this guy out of the box today. And without further ado, you may take your first.
All right. You already used a little bit color my questions around that piece of information, which may be a good or a bad thing for me. So, is this player a shortstop?
This player is not a shortstop. I understand why you may have asked that question based on a reference of the studio audience earlier, but no, not a shortstop.
Did this player play for the New York Yankees?
I'm just double checking that there was no random like cup of coffee with them, but my immediate answer is no. Let me just go through here. No, never played with the Yankees.
All right, we're 0 for 2 with me going down this rabbit hole. So, like Homer Simpson, I'm just gonna keep digging down instead of digging up. Stupid. Is this player a World Series champion?
Not a World Series champion.
Yes,
you're really narrowing the field down here.
Really narrowing it down. So we'll take it a step further. Is this player in the Baseball Hall of Fame?
No, but for reasons you'd probably expect to not be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, all right. So he's a steroid guy from the 90s. All right, so that narrows it down somewhat. So not a shortstop, didn't play for the Yankees, was a big old loser who never won anything. Did this player ever hit 60 home runs in one season?
Did he ever hit 60 home runs in one season? His high water mark for his career was 46, but he had 3 seasons of 43 or more his career high was 47, and he broke the 40 home run barrier once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times.
I have a guess, and I feel like if I didn't burn so many questions needlessly, I could have narrowed this down a little bit further. And this guess would be interesting because I've already mentioned this name on the show. Is it Juan Gonzalez?
I was going to be a final hint that he was already pulled on the show today, but yes, it is Juan Gonzalez. Very good.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, you talk about a comeback. I know that that from we were on the mat. That was like the ref, you broke out at like the 9 count.
Oh no, I totally did the Undertaker sit up just now.
Yeah, like that was pretty damn good because I mean you said World Series champion. No, I was going to tell you 2-time MVP, home run derby champ, 6-time Silver Slugger. The 40 home run thing is what did it for you, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the 40 home run thing, and like I remember he won an MVP, so that probably would have been where I gone next had I had any more questions.
You know, some weeks you're not there. Some weeks you do a good job and you get there. But this week, man, I mean, talk about the leap from like borderline hopeless to nailing. God, you're good. You, Robert De Niro once said.
What a week, and then that'll go great with this poster.
Yeah, and that was when I don't know, like you probably didn't notice my reaction, but when that poster came out, I was like, "Ooh, like that's a handy little." That's
I did not notice the reaction, but you know, we got Juan here celebrating a home run, and by the way, underrated Rangers jersey there. I like that look.
Yes, the with the red light, the blue with the red and the white trim there, with the red helmet looks sharp. Even the old school one in that card there with like the kind of script writing there, with the Texas Rangers. Now that's the card. The pose is a little bit different from the picture. I always like when they match. Not really the case here. Is that he's getting ready to swing, as you can see that front leg kicking up. This year he's already going to be in mid swing there. Looks like he's trying to like hit one down the line. Doesn't look like he's going for a home run swing in that one. That one looks like he's trying to, you know, maybe get a solid stand-up double with that swing there.
That one looks like he's learning how to swing a baseball bat for the first time.
Yeah, maybe choke up a little bit there, Juan. Yeah. Who am I to tell a guy that had 157 RBIs one year to choke up, but maybe choke up a little?
It looks like a guy who wishes he had a torpedo bat in his hands right about now.
Another interesting storyline this week with the bats and the shape of them. Like, no, I don't care.
Yeah, and it's funny how that died down when once the Yankees actually faced some major league pitchers who could actually get guys out with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Maybe it's not the bats and so much as it is the fact that like the Brewers pitching stunk.
Yes,
and now the Yankees are facing good pitchers. They can't hit.
Yeah, it's funny how that. It's funny. Oh, they're killing the ball. Oh, Aaron Judge like had how many home runs in a game? Oh, you don't say. The guy who hits 50 home runs every year had a game where he had a few. No, gotta look into that.
Wow, what a breakdown.
Anyway, but nonetheless, though, it's good to hear that that's gone. I do like this one because this was a good Texas Rangers era look with like, you know, because there was a lot of teams with blue. They got into more of the red. I know you had the Reds and the Red Sox, but it worked for them. Like they would go back and forth between blue and red. And that's pre-A-Rod era there. Gotta love the mullet there on Juan Gonzalez, too. You know, at least they put that detail in.
You know what else was great about the Rangers in that era? That ballpark in Arlington was a house of horrors for the Yankees until like 96 when they went in there and then they won that playoff series. And like all of a sudden that, you know, they were able to, you know, to do their thing. And like the Yankees like never lost there again, like after that, you know, at least like throughout like the whole 90s run. And then like those Rangers teams kind of fell off at the end of the decade.
I feel like those Rangers teams of that era were just divisional round appetizers for the Yankees. I feel like in the beginning in the 90s they had Baltimore they had to go through a couple times. They always had to go through Texas. I felt like Minnesota you kind of took their spot.
Yeah, Cleveland sometimes, but yeah. And yeah, they were the Twins before the Twins were the Twins.
Yeah. Great team in the regular season. Absolutely is going to get to the playoffs, but really didn't stand a chance at beating whoever they faced. Texas never really went deep there, but he's going to be part of it. I think next week we'll do, maybe like a steroid Studio 5 if we could get all the big guys in there.
We should. We got Jerickson Profar in there if they make a starting lineup for him.
I was thinking more of like the Barry Bonds and Jose Canseco's of the world, but this week we've got a salute to Derek Jeter. Salute to the captain. Why not? I could have gone in any direction this week. You see the 5 different Derek Jeter starting lineups there. The 99.
That's a torpedo bat on the right. Good Lord.
Yeah, that's they didn't get the dimensions right there. Good job, Kenner. And we got the 98 classic doubles there of him in the Columbus Clippers, and then the one at the end of him swinging. And then I don't love the one of him fielding because you like it's so low down and hunched down you can barely like see the face. I like the batting practice one. I don't have the 96 rookie one because that one sometimes could be a little pricey, but I'll drop the coin on that one day for sure.
So what was the inspiration for going all Jeter this week, other than just the fact he's Derek Jeter and he's one of our all-time favorites?
If what I was gonna do is just if you had not gotten the starting lineup figure 5 right today, I was just gonna keep saluting different Yankees until you got one right, and then go through that. So that's gonna be my fallback. Is if we're coming off a week where you don't get one, I'm gonna salute a different Yankee, or just a different group of players at least, if it's not one specific one. But Jeter deserves his own.
All right, very good.
There we go. Now, what do we got coming up here on allaboutthejersey.com as the Devil season winds down and gets ready to be a first-round appetizer for the Carolina Hurricanes?
I don't know. I'll write some words. The team will do something. Yeah, they might clinch by the time next week's article goes up. I know they have the Rangers on Saturday, and I think they have the Bruins on Tuesday. So schedule's lightening up a little bit here, and they're actually, it's actually a well-timed 4 days of rest here for them, considering they've played more games than everybody basically throughout the entire season, and now they're finally getting a chance to catch up in the couple weeks heading into the playoffs. So hopefully they take advantage of that, because they got to work with what they got.
I know sometimes teams aren't a fan of extended gaps in the schedule because you get out of rhythm. You come back, you're a little bit slow. At this time of the year, that's exactly what you want. If you're going to the playoffs, you want those aches and bruises and tweaks to get a couple extra days to just take it easy. Maybe not go full speed at practice and then be ready to go for the stretch run here. I know most people don't think the Devils could have a chance at upsetting the Hurricanes in the first round. Got to play the games. You never know.
You got to play the games, and they've built up enough of a lead now where they're going to make the playoffs. It's just a matter of all right, when do they actually clinch now at this point? So hopefully for their sake they take care of business a little earlier so they can kind of I don't want to say kick your feet up the last couple games of the season, but you could certainly give some guys an extra day here that they could certainly use it, because Luke Hughes is dealing with a groin right now, and I'm sure other players have various nicks and bruises like you were mentioning. So,
and that's the thing. That's one of the benefits of kind of being you can't move up, can't move down scenario. Maybe some of those top 6 guys, instead of playing them 20-something minutes a night or 18 minutes a night, maybe you give them 15 and let the bottom guys get a little bit more, just to kind of have that cumulative thing going on. But even I would think the Devils can take the Hurricanes to 6. I mean, Markstrom you haven't had a goalie like Markstrom in a while. I'm not saying he's he's going to stand on his head.
Playing better late too, which helps. He was really struggling coming off the injury, but the last couple games against Minnesota, he's been very good.
And YouTube at Jared Moore Poker. What do we got coming out here?
Who knows? We got shorts the next couple weeks, and part of the reason why I was late today was because I was writing scripts for the next batch, and I lost track of time. So we'll have those scripts done a little bit. We'll voice that over, and we'll hopefully get way out in front of this.
There we go. Getting ahead is key. Total Hockey Now. It's a double stream day for me, coming up at 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific. Christopher Merez and myself will be going through the Thursday night slate. We're also going to go through you're in the fantasy hockey playoffs, whether you're in the championship, the semifinals right now. We're going to go through team schedules and teams that, got 2 games in the next 3 days. Those are guys you want to go after. Teams that only have 1 game in the next 3 days. Those are guys you can maybe we'll try and find some guys that maybe help you put you over the top with the limited pool that's left there. So we're going to do that as well. So looking forward to that.
Is Chris also going to take a victory lap on Lane Hudson, even though he's one of the worst defensive defensemen I've ever seen?
I mean,
but he puts up a lot of assists though, so there's that.
So I'm not a Lane Hudson for the Calder. I mean, I'm a little biased in Celebrini. If Calgary somehow stole a playoff spot, I would make a big argument for Dustin Wolf. I know Mishkov, now that Tortorella's out of the room, he may start surging in production down the stretch because they're just going to let him go.
It's really funny that he is.
Yeah, so it's not over yet. There's one guy in a San Jose Sharks group that wants to make an argument that Logan Stankoven is in the conversation. He might get a vote or two, but he is not in that group. But anyway, we'll see how that shapes up down the stretch. But yeah, Lane Hudson, rookie defenseman, I'll give him a little pass on his defense, at least now. Next year, that needs to improve. We'll be doing we'll see what Chris has to say, or maybe we'll do a little Calder next week. But we're at Mr. Jared Moore. I am at Pucking Thoughts, Adam Bernard. We're going to be back with you next, I believe, Wednesday or Thursday. We got to decide which day of the week.
Whenever we decide, who knows?
We're going to just come on whenever we feel like it moving forward. But for that man over there, Mr. Jared Moore, I'm at Pucking Thoughts. Be back with you next week on an all-new episode of Rip and Read here on the RipNRiff YouTube channel.